Welcome to Hero Villains. Thank you for always watching and supporting the channel. In your opinion, Adam Warlock versus Gladiator. Two cosmic warriors against cosmic power. Who will win? Adam Warlock is a perfect artificial entity created by a group of scientists from the Enclave organization with the purpose of becoming the ultimate being. However, he quickly escaped control and chose his own path. Adam is closely associated with the battles against Thanos, Magus, and many cosmic threats. He possesses superhuman strength, the ability to absorb and control cosmic energy, extremely fast recovery, and is also closely linked to the Soul Gem, allowing him to manipulate souls and even resist death. Adam is the embodiment of balance, both redemptive and dangerous. Gladiator, real name Kallark, is the leader of the Shi'ar Imperial Guard. He is considered one of the most powerful warriors in the Marvel Universe, with physical strength comparable to Superman. Gladiator possesses superior speed, the power to support the galaxy, the ability to fly supersonic, heat rays from his eyes, and almost limitless endurance. What's special is that his strength is tied to his self-confidence. The more confident he is, the more his power reaches godlike levels. But when he doubts, he will weaken significantly. Before we dive into the analysis, please click the subscribe button. Please remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thank you very much. Adam Warlock is considered one of the characters with extraordinary strength. He can move at terrifying speeds, like sound being torn apart in the sky, flying through violent explosions without being affected. In battles, Adam easily overwhelmed Nebula, breaking her sturdy mechanical armor, and that body was strong enough to withstand direct attacks from Thanos. Adam also stands out with his sharp strategic intelligence. He was the one who set up the drama to defeat Thanos in Infinity Gauntlet, proving the perfect combination of strength, intelligence, and foresight. If Adam Warlock appeared and confronted the Guardians of the Galaxy, a group that is not very prominent in strength compared to other top heroes, then it is very likely that his strength would be restrained. Adam Warlock is portrayed as an entity of unimaginable power. He possesses the ability to control energy at a near infinite level, able to absorb huge streams of power from Doctor Strange or even Galactus, turning them into a source of energy to nourish himself. Whenever facing danger, Adam reacts so quickly that time seems to slow down around him. Bullets fired in a moment are immediately stopped in midair. Lightning attacks from Storm only have time to leave a trail of light before he disappears from sight. Even Thor's fury cannot restrain Warlock's footsteps. He once surprised Drax the Destroyer when his body became blurry, almost invisible, moving at a speed that the eyes of a warrior accustomed to killing could not follow. Adam can break through space, fly faster than light, or teleport to escape any battlefield. Adam Warlock has stood in the eye of the storm of the fiercest battles many times. He has endured devastating attacks from Thor, Thanos, Silver Surfer, and even the Hulk, all while maintaining a proud smile on his face. Compared to them, Adam's raw strength is not that outstanding. In fact, he is often considered to be only slightly superior to mighty warriors like Spider-Man. Adam can enhance his physical abilities, turning his punches and blows into something that can rival the strongest heroes in the Marvel Universe. When his energy surges, Adam's body radiates a bright golden light, his eyes flashing like stars burning the night sky. Adam Warlock possesses an extraordinary healing mechanism that makes him virtually invincible to damage. When injured, his body regenerates at a rapid rate, and if the injury is too severe, he falls into a deep sleep like a regenerative cocoon, only to wake up stronger than ever, making his enemies unable to predict the power he can reach. Warlock also has vast control over matter and energy. He once turned Thanos into a cold granite statue, an act that only death had the power to reverse. The energy blasts that Adam unleashed were not only destructive but also mystical, comparable to the most sophisticated magics that a sorcerer supreme could perform. What makes Adam even more terrifying is his power to manipulate time. He can slow down movements, freeze moments, and even reverse the unchanging flow of the universe. With a single thought, he can overlap branches of time and rewrite the future as he wishes. However, interfering with time so deeply consumes enormous amounts of energy, leaving a faint aura around his body as a mark of sacrifice. He is telepathic, clairvoyant, and empathetic, and can defend against these abilities. He can resist the effects of the Infinity Stones, even the reality warping powers of the Reality Stone, or the time manipulating abilities of the Time Stone. Adam Warlock shares a deep and mystical bond with the Soul Gem, a bond that surpasses any other. The bond is so strong that even when the gem is not in his possession, he can still summon and tap into its hidden power. What's more, Warlock is capable of resisting the gem's own power when others attempt to use it to control him. Adam's senses are almost at their absolute peak, approaching the Silver Surfers. He feels the slightest vibration in the fabric of the universe, as if every beat of space and time were imprinted on his mind. When a teleporter disappears, he can trace the energy back to its exact destination, exposing the secrets the teleporter wishes to hide. Adam also possesses mystical senses. Many aspects of his intuition and perception surpass even Stephen Strange, considered a master of the mystic arts. Whenever Warlock focuses, his glowing yellow eyes flash, opening an invisible veil to understand the chaotic flow of the universe. Adam Warlock is an entity in the Marvel cosmic hierarchy. He can be compared to gods like Odin in power. He is certainly on par with Thanos, Thor, Nova Prime, the greater heralds of Galactus, etc. Adam Warlock has always possessed great strength, the ability to survive in a vacuum, great durability. He can usually project energy blasts from his hands and manipulate energy in various ways, but this ability can vary depending on his incarnation. Adam. He is also a really powerful mage. He possesses the Soul Gem. His feats include confronting Thanos, mastering IG, escaping the isolated land, using the Soul Gem to defeat Mephisto in his world, being unharmed by Galactus' attack, saving the galaxy in Annihilation, and defeating Magus. Master Order and Lord Chaos admit that he is beyond their control. Adam Warlock is stronger than Iron Man's old armors, super soldier level characters, non-highest level Asgardians. His incredible endurance and explosive power when needed have portrayed Adam Warlock as an icon not to be underestimated in any battle. I really hope you subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot and you are the best. Thank you very much. Kallark serves as Praetor of the Imperial Guard of the Shi'ar Empire. In this role, he is absolutely loyal to the Magister or Magistrix, the supreme rulers of the galaxy-spanning empire. Born a Strontian, Kallark underwent a ritual to enhance Gladiator, making him the symbol of his race's power. Recognized by the Icon Space Knights as a rare Alpha Plus, Gladiator also possesses telepathic abilities strong enough to keep massive objects from being crushed by their own weight. His physical strength has virtually no limits, as it is directly tied to his level of confidence. When Kallark's confidence is ignited, he becomes virtually invincible. In battle, Gladiator has uprooted the Baxter Building when fighting the Fantastic Four, thrown punches strong enough to destroy planets, defeated Colossus with ease, knocked out the Thing in 2 blows, and even used his immense strength to break Hyperion's back after enduring direct attacks. He has also gouged out one of Vulcan's eyes and knocked the Omega-level mutant unconscious. His great feats demonstrate his incredible power, moving planets out of orbit, causing stars to collapse, and stopping an explosion that could wipe out half the solar system. Kallark has even been seen as a rival to Beta Ray Bill, who is considered to be on par with Thor. Eternity has even viewed Thor as a threat to the very nature of the universe, which is somewhat reflective of the position Gladiator holds. With all that being said, Kallark is not only the iron arm of the Shi'ar, but also a tower of power that rivals the greatest heroes who have ever lived. Kallark has been able to block a bullet fired from a powerful gun just before it could hit a Vulcan mutant, react in nanoseconds to block a punch from Hyperion, and even dodge a photon blast from Galactus himself. Furthermore, Gladiator's perception and processing speed are so advanced that he can count approximately 10 billion microsentinels inside a single body in a matter of seconds. In fact, Gladiator's combat speed is so impressive that he can cross an entire galaxy and land a blow on Heimdall before he even realizes it. Gladiator possesses incredible physical durability and is virtually immune to any physical damage. He can withstand high-caliber bullets, powerful concussive blasts, falls from great heights, and blows from powerful superhumans such as the Hulk and Hyperion. Gladiator can also survive the vacuum of space unaided and withstand extreme temperatures, especially high temperatures. He has shown himself capable of flying through stars without harm and has actually withstood the explosive force of a supernova-like event. Gladiator's invulnerability also makes him immune to all diseases, infections, pollution, corrosive substances, and radiation, with the exception of a rare type of radiation that drains his strength and vitality. However, his level of durability depends on his confidence, so if he does not feel confident, his invulnerability will weaken. Gladiator possesses the ability to manipulate gravitons, allowing him to bend the laws of gravity and fly freely through the void of space. Reed Richards once recorded Gladiator's speed reaching 100 times the speed of light, a number that even genius scientists were amazed. Every time he rushed, the universe seemed to be lit up by a streak of purple light that tore through space. Gladiator also had the ability to shoot extremely concentrated energy beams from his eyes. These beams are so bright and destructive that the maximum temperature has never been determined, but they are hotter than the core of a star, enough to burn through the Hulk's durable skin. When fighting Hyperion, his heat beams blurred his opponent's atomic vision. It is worth noting that the power of these beams is not completely fixed, but directly dependent on Kallark's confidence. Gladiator has the ability to see objects and images at the subatomic level. Thanks to his incredible lung capacity, Gladiator can also inhale large amounts of air and exhale to create hurricane-like winds. He can also freeze his breath to freeze his target. Gladiator possesses the ability to create an invisible jet layer strong enough to withstand direct attacks, as well as attempts at telepathic penetration. Thanks to this defense mechanism, his mind and body are virtually invulnerable. Over the centuries, Kallark has maintained his strength and endurance without showing any signs of aging. He is proficient in ancient Shi'ar martial arts, personally trained by Deathbird in the most brutal methods. What makes Gladiator a force of strength and confidence? Similar to Superman in appearance and physical power, Kallark controls all his abilities with absolute confidence in himself. The more confidence he has, the more fearsome he becomes. He defeated Vulcan with both physical strength and will, leaving a brilliant achievement engraved in Shi'ar history. Among Gladiator's illustrious achievements, there is a moment that is always mentioned as a clear demonstration of his absolute power and prestige. That is when Kallark defeated Thanos, who was considered the embodiment of destruction, with just a single blow. After that lightning attack, Gladiator calmly ordered Thanos to be put in prison, as if defeating him was just a daily task. The sight was all the more astonishing when one remembered that Thanos had endured Black Bolt's destructive screams with only a few scratches, had overcome the Silver Surfer in bloody battles, and had fought on equal terms with Thor, the mighty god of thunder, on numerous occasions. Yet, with just one punch from Gladiator, Thanos fell. That blow was not only a demonstration of pure physical strength, but also contained within it the burning confidence that was the characteristic energy that made Kallark so strong. When he landed that punch, the sky seemed to shake, space seemed to crack open, and the entire battlefield fell into a terrifying silence. Thanos, who often made the entire universe tremble, lay motionless at his opponent's feet, while Gladiator stood there with a proud posture, his eyes as steadfast as steel, marking one of the greatest moments in the history of the Shi'ar Empire. Gladiator was not someone to be trifled with, he was one of the strongest fighters and worthy of respect. The light of the stars spread across the universe, but the center of the battle was as dark as an endless abyss. An abandoned planet. Once an outpost of the Shi'ar Empire, now only ruins remained, broken towers floating in space. Space was silent, only the waiting of two opposing forces. Adam Warlock stood there, his body covered in a shimmering gold as if forged from the core of the stars themselves. On his forehead, the soul gem radiated a rhythmic halo like the heart of a cosmic entity, both pure and fierce. His eyes were fearless, containing the calmness of one who had witnessed countless apocalypses,
Opposite him, Gladiator appeared like an impenetrable spear, his harsh purple armor reflecting the light of the galaxy. His broad shoulders and proud chest shook with each breath, exuding the power of a warrior who had conquered thousands of battles. The proud confidence in his eyes burned, forming a halo that shook the entire space. Without a word of greeting, without any negotiation, the moment Gladiator moved, the universe seemed to shake. He launched himself at a speed beyond light, his body turning into a purple spear tearing through the endless night. The terrifying inertia created waves of destructive energy, crushing the meteorites drifting around the battlefield into broken dust. Warlock raised his hand to lift the soul gem. The green halo exploded into a transparent shield, absorbing the shock like the sea embracing a storm. The first impact rang out like a bell ringing through the stars, creating an explosion of light that spread for thousands of miles. Gladiator threw a series of terrifying punches, each one seeming to pierce the sky, but Warlock glided through space, his body as soft as a graceful golden streak of light. He did not confront it head-on, instead using composure, counterattacking with compressed energy streams released from his hands. Arrows of light shot straight at Gladiator, creating a rain of fire that pierced the darkness, but the Shi'ar warrior roared, destroying everything with his muscular strength. Each of his roars caused the barren ground below to crack open, creating giant craters. The entire battlefield turned into a storm of destruction. Gladiator fought more and more fiercely, his body like a living star, each swing of his arm tearing through the air, leaving behind a trail of purple light that was bright but deadly. Anyone else would have been crushed in the first moment. But Warlock was not one to be subdued. He leaned slightly, his hands rotating, the energy from his soul gem bursting out, creating streaks of light like a green river that rolled around the battlefield. Each wave of energy not only blocked Gladiator's physical strength, but also penetrated his mind, testing his faith, the true source of the Shi'ar warrior's strength. Gladiator roared, his eyes blazing. He broke through the protective shield, charging forward with the determination to crush Warlock in a single blow. The punch landed like a meteorite, hitting the planet's surface, creating a dazzling explosion that tore through space. But instead of being destroyed, Warlock reached out to touch the soul gem, letting the light engulf his entire body. In that moment, space seemed to freeze. All sound was silenced, and Gladiator was suddenly thrown into an illusion created by the gem. He saw himself in the void, his hands trembling, his great power now as fragile as dust. Images of unprecedented defeat, the deep fear of defeat and loss of faith, all appeared in his mind. For Gladiator, faith was his backbone, and when it was shaken, his body also swayed. Each breath became heavy, each punch was noticeably weaker. Warlock stepped out of the illusory vortex. The light from the soul gem illuminated the battlefield. He did not rush, did not strike immediately, but waited for Gladiator to realize the collapse that was invading him. When that proud gaze began to fade, Warlock raised both hands, summoning pure cosmic energy. The golden light was like the birth of the sun, exploding into a pillar of fire that rose high, tearing apart the eternal night. All his power was concentrated in a single move, a penetrating beam of light, striking Gladiator straight. The blow echoed like the thunder of creation. The entire battlefield shook. The giant meteorites were torn apart. The space distorted like a broken mirror. Gladiator took the fatal blow. His body was caught in the storm of light, his arms stretched out to resist, but in vain. The unparalleled force that had once terrified many galaxies was now squeezed, pressed down, until Gladiator fell to his knees, breathing heavily. He did not fall because he was mortally wounded, but because his faith had been completely broken. When the light gradually faded, Adam Warlock was still standing there, his body glowing, his eyes filled with solemnity. Gladiator knelt in the middle of the devastated battlefield, no longer having the strength to stand, and Adam Warlock was the winner.
I hope you enjoy this fight. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like. That's today's video. Thank you very much.